Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up to the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
$1 million.
Dean Emerson, on behalf of Mr. Clampett, I am pleased to present this check to my old alma mater.
Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. And you, Mr. Clampett.
Thank you.
And now, the college has a surprise for you, an honorary degree.
A what?
Here you are, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, shucks, I don't want nothing.
Now, we insist.
Do I have to wear it? Couldn't I just put it in a sack and take it home?
Oh, it's not to take home. You wear this when you receive your degree.
Yes, there are 3,000 students waiting to hear your acceptance speech.
Speech?
Mr. Clampett isn't much for speech-making, Dean.
No, couldn't I just say thanks and let it go at that?
No, indeed. You have an inspirational success story for those young people.
I think just a simple thank you would be best.
Nonsense. We all want to hear the inspiring story of how Mr. Clampett made his fortune.
Well, I could tell him that. It's short. You see, Granny was honing for some gopher gravy. I went down the slough to shoot one. But just as I cut loose, that little varmint skedaddled. And oil come a-oozing out of that slough just like sorghum out of a leaky hog trough. That's how I made my fortune.
Perhaps a simple thank you would be best.
Hey, Granny! Look, I'm here!
Uncle Jed's got his picture in the morning paper.
Right on the front page. Well, I'll be swished. Ha! That must have been some party.
Party?
To get your Uncle Jed to wear that nightshirt and put a lampshade on his head. Well, it's about time he was having a little fun.
Granny, that there ain't no funning outfit. That's a graduating from college outfit.
Yeah, Uncle Jed's done been made a doctor.
The doctor.
Yeah, looky right here. Says, millionaire honor.
J.D. Clampett receives doctor's degree.
And then it goes on to say, on account of his service to humanity and generosity and many other kind deeds, that there Greeley College done went and made him a doctor.
Yeah, and this here's a certificate that they give him. J.D. Clampett.
Doctor of Humanities. Oh, that means everybody.
Why, them darn fool crazy mixed up college kids, they made a mistake.
Well, what do you mean?
I've been doctoring over 50 years, and they give the certificate to Jed.
Oh, but you ain't been to college, Granny, and you got to go to college to be a real doctor.
Yeah, like Pa done yesterday.
He only went to college for a half hour.
Well, that don't make no difference. According to this, he's a doctor and you ain't.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a doctor, you gotta have one of these here certificates to hang up on your wall.
Your Uncle Jed don't know chills from sugar bites.
Yeah, Granny.
He don't know warts from weevils. He don't know the grip from the pip.
What's all the shouting about down there?
Well, yonder he comes, the college doctor. The one with the fancy piece of paper that says he knows everything. How do you cure the vapors? What do you do for Quincy? How do you poultice a riser?
That's me, Granny. You're the one who knows all that stuff.
Oh, do you hear that? He wants me to do his doctoring for him. Well, I ain't a-gonna do it. You got the name, now you play the game.
What are you talking about?
About you sneaking off to college and being made a doctor.
I didn't get made no doctor.
Well, it says right here in the morning paper you did.
I just went down there to give him some money.
Then how come you took the certificate?
I thought they was handing me a receipt.
Does this look receipt?
Well, I'll be doggone.
Hey, Uncle Jed, when I wanted to be a brain surgeon, everybody said that I had to go to college 8 years to be a doctor.
Well, that's what I heard. But I reckon it's like the old saying goes, nothing greases a chute like money.
Well, Mr. College Doctor, ain't you gonna hang up your fancy certificate on the wall and commence healing sick folks?
Of course not.
Then why are you all duded up like this?
Going over to my movie studio.
Is somebody ailing over there?
Stop that kind of talk. You know I ain't no doctor.
It says so in the paper.
I know he's going to take that serious. Granny, you're the doctor in this family. You always have been, you always will be.
Dr. Clampett, I presume. Good morning, Doctor. Well, Granny, how's it make you feel when you hear your son-in-law called Doctor? Makes you swell up with pride, doesn't it?
Mr. Drysdale, could we have this certificate made out to Granny instead of me?
You're joking.
Oh, she deserves it a lot more than I do.
But you're the one who gave the money to the college.
Yeah, but...
I don't need your charity, Jed Clampett. You can keep your old doctor's certificate.
Mr. Drysdale, if we can't have this one made over to Granny, could we get her one of her own?
Well, I'm afraid... Well, you see, a doctor's degree is very rarely bestowed. It took a cool million for the... Granny's case, I doubt seriously if...
Where you going, Granny?
Going with Jethro. Come on, boy.
Where's Jethro going?
He's going with me. Get that truck moving, boy.
Where are we going, Granny?
To that Greedy college.
I think it's Greeley.
I think it's Greedy. And as long as it is, I'm gonna buy me one of them half-hour doctor certificates.
Hey, Granny, how about buying me one to be a brain surgeon?
I'll price them.
And now, coming up on your right, in a few moments, will be the home of Mr. J.D. Clampett, the man who owns Mammoth Picture Studios. And then
He
we're going
owns
to...
a movie studio?
That's right. And then
Well, can't we stop for a moment? Maybe we'll see him.
Well, I can pull up at the gate. He might be out in the yard.
Now, dear, if we should see Mr. Clampett, you know what to do. Oh, thank goodness we brought your tap shoes. Watch me for tempo, and remember the signals. Now, this is a cartwheel, and this is a backflip. Oh, my baby's gonna be the new Shirley Temple.
There it is, lady.
Oh, well, can't we drive in?
I'm not supposed to.
Oh, please, we've just got to see Mr. Clampett.
Hey, driver, is that the Clampett whose picture's in the morning paper?
Yeah, that's him. He gave $1 million to some college, and they made him a doctor.
Say, I'd like to get a look at him myself.
Well, all right, okay. I'll pull up the drive, but everybody stay in the bus.
Paul?
Yeah, Ellie and Granny and Jethro come back?
No, sir, but there's a whole bus full of people coming up the driveway.
What do you reckon they want?
Well, I don't know. Unless they seen your picture in a paper and want you to doctor them.
Well, I hope not. Morning, folks.
Y'all here to see Dr. Clampett?
Hey, that's you. Your picture's in the newspaper.
You've got to see my little girl. Let me right there.
Ma'am, you see, I ain't really a doctor. I can't,
Open this door. Let me go.
Take it easy, will you, lady?
I want him to see my Beverly. Now open this door.
Gee, I'm sorry about this. I'll get him out of here right away.
well, maybe you best let that woman off. She's about to bust your door.
Okay, thanks.
They're standing here, my Beverly. He's got to see that
Stand
child.
back, please. Stand back.
Come on, Beverly.
It might calm her some just to let her tell us her troubles. Sure hope Granny hurries back.
This is just so wonderful of you, Mr. Clampett.
Dr. Clampett.
Emily, please. Ma'am, maybe you'd like to step inside where you can sit down and tell me about your little girl.
Did you hear that, Beverly? Isn't he a nice man?
But we love you.
Just step inside.
Paul, they don't look like there's nothing bad wrong with that little girl.
I hope not, but you never know. Nervous little thing, ain't she?
Don't you think she's got something?
Well, I don't think it's nothing to get excited about.
Wait. You haven't seen anything yet.
Please, ma'am, not all the way.
She sure is wearing fancy underwear.
Folks usually wears their best when they come to see the doctor.
Now, show 'em what you've really got, Beverly.
Please, ma'am, control yourself. That little girl's gonna be all right.
Oh, Beverly, did you hear that? Oh, I've taken her every place, and you're the first one that's shown us any encouragement. Oh, isn't he a nice man?
Yes, we love you.
We love you, too.
How soon do you think you can cast her?
Cast her? Oh, well, that'll be up to Granny. She might want to try a couple of other things first before she puts her in a cast.
My Beverly's ready for anything.
Well, you come back in a couple of hours, and Granny probably be here by then.
Oh, bless you. Come along, Beverly.
Oh, ma'am, don't you want to put her clothes on?
Well, I can do that on the bus. I just can't wait to tell everyone at the Hollywood Vaudeville Club what you're doing for Beverly. They all call her Little Tappy Toe.
Ain't that cruel, teasing that poor little young'un about her nervous feet?
Sure do hope Granny can help her.
Her ma could use a little of Granny's nerve tonic, too. What in blue blazes could that little woman be?
Wasn't that a magnificent donation? $1 million. Now we can afford to pay some decent salaries. Get some real football players. Now listen, I want you to comb that alumni list again. Let's see if we can't come up with a few more of those really big ones.
Are you the goomer that gives away doctor certificates?
What?
Yep, it's you. I'll take one.
No, wait a minute.
Now, if you're worried about the chute getting greased, I got the hog fat right here.
I'll call you back. I think one of the fraternities is trying to pull a prank on me.
$6.12 there, right?
Right.
I'll take my doctor's certificate.
For $6.12.
And if there's enough left over, I'll take one for brain surgeon, too.
Who brought you here? Psi Omega?
No, Jethro Bodine.
Did you call me, Granny? Hey, you graduated quicker than Uncle Jed, and it didn't even take you a half hour.
Oh, look here, young man. This has gone far enough. What fraternity are you with?
I ain't with no fraternity.
Then will you please explain what this little woman wants?
Well, yes, sir. She wants folks to call her a doctor.
And it's high time, too.
Indeed it is. Get me Dr. Niemeyer in psychiatry.
Paul, Granny and Jethro's are coming.
Oh, praise be. Just in time. Finish putting the chairs around for the next busload of sick folks. Granny, I'm so glad to see you, I ain't even going to ask you where you been.
I wouldn't tell you if you did ask.
I'll tell you where we've been.
You speak when you're spoke to.
Jethro, park the truck out of the way.
I've been spoke to, Granny. We've been down at the...
Do as you're told. Now get this truck out of here. You get your certificate hogging hands off of me, Dr. Clampett.
Granny, like I told you before, you're the doctor, not me. Why, I had to turn away a whole busload of sick folks because you wasn't here.
Why didn't you show him your picture in the paper? Maybe that would have cured him.
There was a little girl here would have tore your heart out. Poor little thing had a nervous tick in her foot. Couldn't stop tapping it. She had wore out so many pairs of shoes her ma had to put iron plates on them. She's coming back and bring some other.
Well, heaven help him, because I ain't gonna.
Granny, I'll get that college to make you a doctor if it takes every cent I got.
They offered to make me one. Even give me a test.
They did?
Asked me the craziest darn fool questions you ever did hear. Had me putting pegs in holes and looking at spilt ink. But I passed it.
Good for you.
That's what I thought. Until they put me in that White doctor's coat. The crazy darn fool thing had sleeves that tied in the back.
Don't make no sense at all.
If Jethro hadn't been there to rip it off of me, I'd still be trying to get out of it. I have done my last doctoring, and that's that. Supposed to be?
Well, this here's a nurse's outfit. Jethro and me's gonna help Pa take care of sick folks.
Jethro and you help Jed? Why the three of you put together couldn't take a wart off a dill pickle?
Well, Granny, Jethro's been watching them hospital shows on TV, and he knows all about doctors and nurses and everything. Well, me and him went over to Paul's movie studio. We got all the stuff to make the parlor into a real doctor's office. Hey, Jethro!
Nurse, don't you never whistle and yell, "Hey, Jethro," at me. You're supposed to say, "Calling Dr. Bodine," like they do on television.
Dr. Bodine.
Yes, ma'am, Granny. He's Dr. Clampett's brilliant young assistant.
Him? Why, he was 6 years old before he could feed himself. He's so dumb he thinks a mustard plaster is something to put on a hot dog.
Beautiful, Granny. Brilliant young assistants is generally mean and surly.
Nurse, clear this ward. Get ready for the patients.
Sorry, Granny. You'll have to leave.
You couldn't pay me to stay here. I don't want to be within 10 miles of this place. Someone comes in with a broken leg, that nut will shoot him. And I don't want to be here to see it.
I'll go out and fetch Dr. Clampett. Ready, Paul?
Is Granny taking a bait yet?
She says she ain't gonna stay around. She says she don't want to see what's gonna happen.
She's taking a bait. Dr. Bodine?
Yes, sir, Dr. Clampett?
I believe I told you about the toe tapping, young'un.
Yes, sir. I'm familiar with the case and prepared to handle it.
Nurse, would you please close that curtain?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, Dr. Bodine, supposing something like that was to happen to our nurse here, just what would you do?
Well, first off, I'd check her nerves. Them's my specialty.
I believe we had best step into my private office, Doctor.
After you, Doctor.
Now then, Dr. Bodine, I believe you said you were going to examine this girl's nerves.
Yes, sir, Dr. Clampett. I do believe that is the procedure indicated.
You may proceed with the procedure.
Yes, sir.
How do they sound?
This girl has real quiet nerves.
And if they was to commence acting up?
Well, first thing I'd do would be to give her a hypodermic full of x-rays.
Doctor, I believe we'll find it much quieter working in your operating room.
Yes, sir, Doctor.
Now then, Dr. Bodine, supposing that x-rays don't quieten her nerves.
Then I'll just have to yank them rascals out.
If that don't do it?
Then I'll just have to remove what they call the entire skeletal structure.
Oh, if that's that little girl, you might as well bring her right on in here to the operating room and letting young Dr. Bodine go right to work on her.
Yes, sir, Dr. Clampett.
Oh, no, wait. I'll help you, Jed. I'll save the little girl. Don't let that squirrely TV doctor get his hands on her. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. nervous flip-flops I ever did see. Oh, you pretty little darling. Don't you worry, Granny's here. Granny's gonna help you.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
Glad to do it. Come on in here. No, I better take her upstairs to my room.
Oh, there are some others outside from the Hollywood Vaudeville Club. May I tell them to come in?
Have them come in and wait. I'll get to them as quick as a kid.
Come on in, everybody!
What a beautiful place this is.
Now remember, we drew straws, and I get to audition my bird imitations first.
What you doing, boy?
Well, this here's the way them there doctors wash their hands on television. Now they's what you call sterilized clean. Ready to operate.
Excuse me, Paul. First patient's waiting to see you.
Ain't Granny down there yet?
No, sir.
Well, I'll talk to him. Ready to operate, huh?
Oh, yes, sir.
Howdy, ma'am. What seems to be your trouble? That woman thinks she's a bird.
She ain't fur wrong.
What can you do?
Well, I ain't no bird doctor, but I can give her some breadcrumbs and straw and make her comfortable.
How's the little girl?
Just fine. But it took 2 doses of nerve tonic to get her more to bed. Well, come on, give me your wing.
Pitiful, pitiful.
Here's the next one, Paul.
Oh, howdy. Granny will be right back. Maybe you'd like to tell me what ails you. Sometimes makes you feel a lot better just to talk about it. Uh-oh. I can tell you right off that we got to change what you eat. You'll feel a heap better right away.
Paul, come quick.
What's the matter, Ellie?
There's a woman waiting to see Granny, and she's stripped down to her fancy underwear.
A growed woman?
Yes, sir. And it's got her husband just raging mad.
Now, don't eat no more till I get back. Now, here, just a minute.
That's his wife he's throwing them knives at.
Now, hold on, mister. Let's not have no more of that. I grant you got cause to be upset, but, no more of that. If your husband's aim wasn't so bad, we'd have an awful mess here.
Jed! Worst case of heartburn I ever did see.
It's what he eats, Granny.
Jethro!
You're supposed to say calling Dr. Bodine.
Never mind. Take that man to the kitchen. Give him some baking soda and buttermilk.
Be sure and get the jug with the buttermilk. You give him some of Granny's corn squeezins and he'll hiccup this house to a cinder.
Yes, sir.
Paul, that rascal's after his wife again.
No.
Yeah, he's fixing to saw her in two.
Now, Big Jed, I ain't got that many bandages.
Enough is enough. Now, don't you worry, ma'am. Stop that sawing. Granted, she showed her legs, but that's no call to cut them off. Get a load of this.
Come in.
Mr. Dean, could I see you for a minute?
Mr. Clampett, what an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Dean, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give you back this certificate.
Oh, why?
Well, even Granny ain't doctor enough to cure them Hollywood folks. They is real sick.
it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.